Only nigga make a move, no deal, no sponsor shit. Send me out of music, be my shit. Ride around the town on the ego trip. Riding in the car with the extra clip. Whipping them, extra. Nigga got him pissed, I'm just talking shit, but this shit be hard to admit. Game lock, make a nigga quit, about to have a fit. Now that the video wanna spit, nigga she said that's it. Nobody wanna hold a door, don't wanna lend a hand dance, so I had to kick in the fence. Don't give a fuck about the fake shit, it wasn't fake cash for it, that's real shit. And I started on my own, only nigga make a move, no deal, no sponsor shit. Send me out of music, be my shit. Ride around the town on the ego trip. Riding in the car with the extra clip. Whipping them, extra. Nigga got him pissed, I'm just talking shit, but this shit be hard to admit. Game lock, make a nigga quit, about to have a fit. Now that the video wanna spit, nigga she said that's it. Nobody wanna hold a door, don't wanna lend a hand dance, so I had to kick in the fence. Don't give a fuck about the fake shit, it wasn't fake cash for it, that's real shit. And I started on my own, only nigga make a move, no deal, no sponsor shit. Send me out of music, be my shit. Ride around the town on the ego trip. Riding in the car with the extra clip. Whipping them, extra. Nigga got him pissed, I'm just talking shit, but this shit be hard to admit. Game lock, make a nigga quit, about to have a fit. Now that the video wanna spit, nigga she said that's it. Nobody wanna hold a door, don't wanna lend a hand dance, so I had to kick in the fence. Don't give a fuck about the fake shit, it wasn't fake cash for it, that's real shit. And I started on my own, only nigga make a move, no deal, no sponsor shit. Send me out of music, be my shit. Ride around the town on the ego trip. Riding in the car with the extra clip. Whipping them, extra. Nigga got him pissed, I'm just talking shit, but this shit be hard to admit. Game lock, make a nigga quit, about to have a fit. Now that the video wanna spit, nigga she said that's it. Nobody wanna hold a door, don't wanna lend a hand dance, so I had to kick in the fence. Don't give a fuck about the fake shit, it wasn't fake cash for it, that's real shit. And I started on my own, only nigga make a move, no deal, no sponsor shit. Send me out of music, be my shit. Ride around the town on the ego trip. Riding in the car with the extra clip. Whipping them, extra. Nigga got him pissed, I'm just talking shit, but this shit be hard to admit. Game lock, make a nigga quit, about to have a fit. Now that the video wanna spit, nigga she said that's it. Nobody wanna hold a door, don't wanna lend a hand dance, so I had to kick in the fence. Don't give a fuck about the fake shit, it wasn't fake cash for it, that's real shit. And I started on my own, only nigga make a move, no deal, no sponsor shit. Send me out of music, be my shit. Ride around the town on the ego trip. Riding in the car with the extra clip. Whipping them, extra. Nigga got him pissed, I'm just talking shit, but this shit be hard to admit. Game lock, make a nigga quit, about to have a fit. Now that the video wanna spit, nigga she said that's it. Nobody wanna hold a door, don't wanna lend a hand dance, so I had to kick in the fence. Don't give a fuck about the fake shit, it wasn't fake cash for it, that's real shit. And I started on my own, only nigga make a move, no deal, no sponsor shit. Send me out of music, be my shit. Ride around the town on the ego trip. Riding in the car with the extra clip. Whipping them, extra. Nigga got him pissed, I'm just talking shit, but this shit be hard to admit. Game lock, make a nigga quit, about to have a fit. Now that the video wanna spit, nigga she said that's it. Nobody wanna hold a door, don't wanna lend a hand dance, so I had to kick in the fence. Don't give a fuck about the fake shit, it wasn't fake cash for it, that's real shit. And I started on my own, only nigga make a move, no deal, no sponsor shit. Send me out of music, be my shit. Ride around the town on the ego trip. Riding in the car with the extra clip. Whipping them, extra. Nigga got him pissed, I'm just talking shit, but this shit be hard to admit. Game lock, make a nigga quit, about to have a fit. Now that the video wanna spit, nigga she said that's it. Nobody wanna hold a door, don't wanna lend a hand dance, so I had to kick in the fence. Don't give a fuck about the fake shit, it wasn't fake cash for it, that's real shit. And I started on my own, only nigga make a move, no deal, no sponsor shit. Send me out of music, be my shit. Ride around the town on the ego trip. Riding in the car with the extra clip. Whipping them, extra. Nigga got him pissed, I'm just talking shit, but this shit be hard to admit. Game lock, make a nigga quit, about to have a fit. Now that the video wanna spit, nigga she said that's it. Nobody wanna hold a door, don't wanna lend a hand dance, so I had to kick in the fence. Don't give a fuck about the fake shit, it wasn't fake cash for it, that's real shit. And I started on my own, only nigga make a move, no deal, no sponsor shit. Send me out of music, be my shit. Ride around the town on the ego trip. Riding in the car with the extra clip. Whipping them, extra. Nigga got him pissed, I'm just talking shit, but this shit be hard to admit. Game lock, make a nigga quit, about to have a fit. Now that the video wanna spit, nigga she said that's it. Nobody wanna hold a door, don't wanna lend a hand dance, so I had to kick in the fence. Don't give a fuck about the fake shit, it wasn't fake cash for it, that's real shit. And I started on my own, only nigga make a move, no deal, no sponsor shit. Send me out of music, be my shit. Ride around the town on the ego trip. Riding in the car with the extra clip. Whipping them, extra. Nigga got him pissed. I'm just talking shit, but this shit be hard to admit. Game lock, make a nigga quit. About to have a fit. Now that the video wanna spit. Nigga, she said that's it. Nobody wanna hold her door, don't wanna lend a hand dance, so I had to kick in the bitch. Don't give a fuck about the fake shit. It wasn't fake cash for it, that's real shit. And I started on my own. Only nigga make a move. No deal, no sponsorship. Symbiotic music, be my shit. Ride around the town on the Eagle trip. Riding in the car with the extra clip. Whipping them, whipping them, whipping them, extra. Nigga got him pissed. I'm just talking shit, but this shit be hard to admit. Game lock, make a nigga quit. About to have a fit. Now that the video wanna spit. Nigga, she said that's it. Nobody wanna hold her door, don't wanna lend a hand dance, so I had to kick in the bitch. Don't give a fuck about the fake shit. It wasn't fake cash for it, that's real shit. And I started on my own. Only nigga make a move. No deal, no sponsorship. Symbiotic music, be my shit. Ride around the town on the Eagle trip. Riding in the car with the extra clip. Whipping them, whipping them, whipping them, extra. Nigga got him pissed. I'm just talking shit, but this shit be hard to admit. Game lock, make a nigga quit. About to have a fit. Now that the video wanna spit. Nigga, she said that's it. Nobody wanna hold her door, don't wanna lend a hand dance, so I had to kick in the bitch. Don't give a fuck about the fake shit. It wasn't fake cash for it, that's real shit. And I started on my own. Only nigga make a move. No deal, no sponsorship. Symbiotic music, be my shit. Ride around the town on the Eagle trip. Riding in the car with the extra clip. Whipping them, whipping them, whipping them, extra. Nigga got him pissed. I'm just talking shit, but this shit be hard to admit. Game lock, make a nigga quit. About to have a fit. Now that the video wanna spit. Nigga, she said that.
And about yourself.
Oh, where am I starting?
Okay. Okay, so we just want to know. Hello, everyone. Welcome to your May edition of CEP TV's Late Night Hype. I am your hostess, LaShon Patrice, and 10 Carat cannot be with us tonight, but we have a fantastic, awesome, amazing guest with us tonight. And tonight we will have a live performance. We will be joined by Von T. So make sure you stay tuned for that later on in the show. We're going to have a great interview. If you hang out with us tonight, make sure you please share the live. I do thank you all for waiting with this delay that we had. And you know how it is with live TV. Sometimes everything doesn't always work out as planned, but we are here and we are happy that you have joined us tonight. So without further ado, if you're watching on social media, make sure you share to all your groups. And, we want to thank our sponsors for sponsoring CEP TV. You will see a lot of those at the end of the show. We're also looking for more sponsors. And if you are interested in wardrobe sponsorship or commercial sponsorships, we are definitely able and willing to fulfill those needs if you want to get your product information out on a very wide variety audience and upcoming audience. As you will see in the very near future, we're going to go back onto Roku and back onto Amazon TV, which is going to give us a huge following. So stay tuned for that. And if you have a topic, we are also looking for 2-minute segments for current events that we will need prepared before each show. And as of right now, we're just doing the one show per month. So if you're interested in doing that, please make sure you email us at ceptv2019@gmail.com and put in the subject line headlines, so that way we will know exactly what you are inquiring about. Also, if you are interested in submitting your film information for CEPTV, yes, we will be doing movies once again. However, we will be doing a limited number of movies so that we can put together some amazing promo packages for you who are new to the film industry and want to do a soft launch for your movies before you go on to other platforms. That's what we're here for, and we're going to place your movies on different review shows and also set you up with other podcast arenas. So please make sure you send for any further inquiries. Current events, I would say last month was amazing, and also this month was amazing. So last month, as you probably saw, we had our 1-year anniversary. We had celebrities like Maurice Leggett, Dave Tolliver. We had movie makers in the building, and they're all doing amazing things right now. So we are definitely humbled that, you know, they came onto our platform to talk about everything that they're doing, and they have just reached awesome heights since that last show. So make sure you check that out. That was the April edition, the 1-year anniversary recap. Just Google CEPTV 1-year anniversary and it will come right up for you. So that, again, that was amazing. Last weekend we had the Fuck Who's Next I Am Now showcase down in Biloxi and Louisiana. That was a very great turnout. So be looking on 10 Carats platform, Fuck Who's Next I Am Now, for highlights for that. And also we have an event coming up in Montgomery, and that is tomorrow. So if you are in the Atlanta area, Montgomery area, or any surrounding areas, and you want to come meet us, 10 Carat and or myself, and just come along and see what the buzz is all about, we will be in Montgomery at the we're going to be on Narrow Road. I can't think of the name of the event center at this point in time, but if you look on the Fuck Who's Next I Am Now Facebook page, you'll be able to find it right there. It just really escapes me, so I do apologize, but yes, we will be in Montgomery, and it is a once monthly thing. So this is a reminder that this is a music series, and we travel to different cities and states, and you will see on 10 Carats page and also the Fuck Who's Next page that next season is going to be turned up a notch, because I want to say about 5 more cities and states are going to be added on, so stay tuned for that. And if you want to get into that showcase, also visit the Fuck Who's Next I Am Now page so that you can get that information, that contact information, so that you could be a part of that series. These are some of our sponsors from the Fuck Who's Next I Am Now. We also they also help us with the CEP TV platform as well. So these are some of our performers that have been with us since day one. And so make sure you check out those. These are their interactive banners. And if you freeze frame this show, you can actually use your QR code to scan those banners, and it will take you right to their streaming information, who is Headbanger Music and Ant-Do Music. And of course, here you will see Fifi's Fantasy Boutique. So thank so much to our sponsors. Without further ado, we're going to take our first commercial break, and we're going to come back with a wonderful artist. You're going to get to know all about him, the wide variety of music, and why he is such a hero to so many, and an unsung hero at that. You're going to learn all about him. Von T coming up on this next segment, so get ready for that. Thank you all so much for joining us on CEP TV Late Night Hype.
Join the movement with the BOB Black-Owned Business Rewards Club. Enjoy a free directory listing or go for a more catered experience by signing up for our performance-based data generation with direct marketing. Choose from business to business, business to consumer, or even utilize your BOB membership for fundraising efforts. If you are not sure which route is best, we can give you a consultation and a 30-day free trial on select services. Membership fees for BOB Rewards are $10 a year for the consumer and $25 a year for the business owner or entrepreneur. Enjoy discounts, social media advertising, the ability to showcase and sell your products at trade shows, and much, much more. At the BOB Rewards Club, we are working hard to bring you more benefits. Head on over to bobrewards.club or type in BOB Rewards on social media and sign up today.
Yes, you never know who may be in the building for the Know and Grow networking event. This is the first one. We are here having us a good time. As you all can hear, the DJ Twin is doing his thing. But y'all, guess who is in the building? We have Von T and we have M. See, Maurice, I do this over the M. I'm gonna get your name at the Y. Everybody know I fucks up names all the time, but I get it right at the Y. Von T, tell us, who you are and what you have going on, because you just bust out a single recently with somebody that's in the industry, and the single is really, really dope. So let them know who you are and about the single.
Yeah, so this your boy Von T, man. So the single that I just dropped, it's called Whip. It's featuring Ty Dolla $ign. Shout out to Slapbox Records, shout out to Music Headquarters, and shout out to Next TV Entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the single is called Whip. It's your boy Von T, man. I represent the Augusta area and also Columbus, Georgia. So I'm just out here turning up, man, out here with CEP TV today, yo.
I appreciate you, just out here, let me take the time out to interview you. But right quickly, like, that single, did you tell them who was on that single and everything? Because like this is something really major for you to kind of be able to cross over into the mainstream. I mean, so how did it feel when this single came about and now that it's finished and out?
So the single had a rough road, to get it recorded. I've been working on it for about a year, and it does feel good to be able to work with an A-list artist to get my name out there and everything like that. But at the same time, I just like to make really good music, and so being able to network and work with A-list artists and get my music out there was how I got my name known for my style. Most people who see me, they don't see me with it right now, but usually, you see me with the helmet on, I rock around with my helmet, and then that's how my image really got itself out there, my name, and people were kind of curious about my style. But with that song called Whip, it's featuring Ty Dolla $ign, just working with A-list artists. Ty Dolla $ign. I'm also gonna be working with Travis Scott in the future, man. I got a lot of stuff coming in 2021, so we going it big.
Man, and we're gonna be on the lookout for all that shit. Hold on one second. Let me talk to
Maurice.
See, Maurice, I just did like that. He said Maurice. Y'all, Maurice is from also Columbus. But Maurice, I heard that you sing.
Oh yeah.
And I heard that, you're getting your stuff together, your social media getting ready to start popping off, and you're doing your thing. But let them know like where you're from and like what can we expect to see from you in 2021?
2021. Okay, first of all, my name is Maurice. I'm gonna go by the stage name of LaShon. Currently signed up under Symbiotic Music. I've been working with them for a while. Been in the studio working on the track. So 2020, I will be releasing that single. Okay, as of right now, you can follow me on Facebook under my name Maurice Shack, and you can catch me on Instagram at LaWayne79. All right, I want to give a shout out to CEP TV.
Oh, he said it right. But let me ask you a question. You're from Columbus. Like, what part of Columbus are you from?
Part of Columbus I'm from, uptown, baby.
Now, y'all see representing when I was down to it. So he done gave you all how y'all can follow him. How can these people, our CEP TV audience and everybody else follow you?
Yo, this your boy Von T, man, CEO of Symbiotic Music, and you can follow me at KOVU1278. That's on every social media platform. That's on everything out there. Everybody who follows me out there, they know that my following everything was born on the internet, so you know you can follow me out there. And if you ain't sure about follow me, you didn't catch KOVU1278, just type Von T into your browser, man. I'm gonna pop up. I'm the only one out there.
So, once again, though, that single that you just dropped, where can we find that single at? Because we at CEPTV gonna help push it, because I think it's pretty fucking dope.
Right now, the major platforms that the single Whip is playing on right now, you can go to my YouTube page. You can download it and stream it from there. You can also go ahead and follow me on SoundCloud. Type in Von T. I pop up there. I'm verified artist on SoundCloud. You'll see the single there as well.
So Von T and Maurice, I thank you all for letting CEPTV interview. I got your name right, didn't I?
You got it
See,
right.
I told you over and over again, I get that shit together. But this is taken care of with CEPTV at the Know and Grow networking event, and this is #1. So y'all stay tuned because it'll be more to come.
And we are back. Thank you so much for tuning in to CEPTV Late Night Hype 2021 May edition. I have my wonderful guest here. I'm so excited. He came all the way from Greenville, Georgia to be with us tonight on CEPTV. Von T in the building. Thank you so much for coming tonight.
Hey, it's good to be here. It's good to be here. What's going on? What's going on, CEPTV, LaShon? What's going on, world? How y'all doing?
Yes, we have so much to cover tonight. So you have just been doing some amazing things. But first, I want you to introduce yourself on the most basic level to the CEPTV audience. Tell us, who is Von T? Who are you?
Name's Von T. I've been doing music for as long as I can remember. I actually started doing music when I was a child, you know what I'm saying? I was playing with music and stuff, but I started DJing in college. I started to make beats. I was producing first. Have a long history of just playing with different sounds and beats, and not tied to any specific genre. I like to just explore, and I like to just experiment with music, and that's pretty much what I do. I just, like, something comes to me when I'm doing music, and I just go for it. So I don't really have no boundaries when it comes to genres. I don't believe in genres. I just believe in music.
Absolutely. That's definitely a great way to be, because music is one of those things that unifies all of us. Like, if you hear a beat and you like it, it doesn't matter where it comes from. It's just you fall in love with the rhythm, the music, or even the content. So tell us about your early influences. Who would you say would be, some of the people who influenced you to be the way that you are, as far as like your line of thinking and as far as how your music career has begun to blossom?
Well, my family is a military family. My dad was a retired, master sergeant. He was pretty high ranking. So with being in that atmosphere, we traveled around a lot. And I got a chance to not necessarily be tied to one area, so I had a chance to really just be exposed to a lot of different music. And growing up, living from place to place, military folks get stationed somewhere every 3 years. Mm-hmm. So for me, that was a whole brand new area of people and a whole new exposure to different music everywhere that I went. And I can honestly say, like, from growing up, my family not really having much, that when I actually started to look at individuals who I looked up to, it was more people who came out the mud, kind of got their grind started, came from nothing. Because in my family, there ain't really many role models to look up to. There ain't really too many people doing anything outside of just trying to survive and working and just trying to make a living. So, and when we grew up,
Nobody put money off to the side for us. You know, nobody had trust funds or savings for us. You know, they prepared us to get out there and work. So when I looked at individuals who came out the mud, people like Rick Ross and Puff Daddy and Jay-Z and Nipsey Hussle, you know, rest in peace. Those individuals, and then also, you know, other rock stars, like people might not know, Shiny Toy Guns is a rock group, Blink-182, a lot of these people who started, you know, in the garage bands, a lot of these people who started with nothing, those are the people that I looked up to for inspiration.
Nice. Okay. So, you know, I was looking at your bio, and it is very impressive. I love the artistic way that you explain not only your line of thinking, but also what you feel like you can bring and attribute not only to the world, but to the music industry and influences to young people, different genres. I love the way that's worded. And I also learned a new word, deuteragonist. That was pretty dope. So tell us about that in your explanation of what Kovu 1278 is.
So I say it all the time in my songs. So pretty much for individuals who don't know who Kovu is the hero character on a movie called Lion King 2. It is the adopted son of Scar, and he was looked at as a bad guy by people who didn't understand him, but he was actually a good guy. Just came up with a bad upbringing, which kind of labeled him. And so for me, Kovu that's what that part symbolizes. And the 1278, it's actually broken up. People say 1278, I say 1278.
Okay.
But the 12 and the 78, those numbers. Those numbers mean everything to me, because I feel like 7 days a week, you know, we work and we grind hard, and it's 7 days a week, and I'm, you know, with the spider, with the venom thing, so it's eight spider, eight legs. I'm always moving, and then there's only one of me, you know what I'm saying? So that's where the one comes in, and then as always, you know, there's the two, because there's always two sides of me, and I feel like everybody has two sides. So there's one of me, but there's also two. So that's where the 1 and 2 comes from, and then the 7 and the 8. So
I love it. Very extensive, very, very deep. And am I saying that right? Is it deuteragonist?
Yeah.
Deuteragonist, okay. I think I said deuteragonist. So you said also in your bio that you had a lot of experience, or some of your experience, kind of the genesis of it was editing video games and stuff like that, or the soundtracks on video games. Like, how was that? Like, what was that process all about?
So, like, I used to be into video games a lot when I was younger, and from what I found out that, and we were just actually having a conversation about this in the house with the family members the other day. Like, sometimes they would see, like, sometimes I wasn't even playing the game, and they thought that I was playing the game, but I was actually listening to the music. What I would do is I would take those sounds and I would start looking up what makes certain sounds on the computer, and then I would get the basic of software on my laptop, and then I would go take those samples and I would put those on a laptop and try to figure out what those sounds were. So I was actually in the process of trying to figure out how to make beats when I was little.
So you were like reverse engineering beats so you could figure out. That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope. You know, I was at the 2020 Music Awards last year and got the privilege to work with Bobby Sampson, and he was saying that there are people who work in the industry that do nothing but create sounds for people. And so there's like a catalog. You know, I don't know if it's like public access or it's just these people in the industry have access to that. So when they master movies, they actually go research those sounds and then they place them like where they're supposed to be, because sometimes you don't get that genuine sound from a live shoot. They have to actually put that in there. So I guess thinking about what you were doing is something, you know, that's a very important element to the entertainment industry, and you know, so I that's genius to me. I just never, you know, would have thought of that. So that's great. So what do you feel like that doing that prepared you for it? Just being really good with creating music?
I think it it gave me the ability to be able to see past barriers in music, because as the years go forward and as technology advances and people play these games, video games that are out there, there's actually a lot of dope music that are actually on video games now.
Yes,
that are actually,
yes.
yeah, that's created by some very known artists that are out there. And as we move forward, it's going to be even more artists that submit their tracks to video games, and they're on there. So I feel like for me, at a young age, what it did is it just really broke down those barriers of just being one tracked and to trying to stay in the one genre, and I just kind of just stick to that. So.
Very nice. I love it. Tell us about the creation of symbiotic music. What does that mean, and what does that mean to you? What does that mean? What should that mean to everyone who comes across that type of music?
So yeah, so symbiotic music, like I was saying before, like there's two sides I feel like to everybody, and that's where the symbiote part comes from, because I feel like there's a way that you carry yourself out in the professional world, and there's a way that you carry yourself throughout your life, and making sure that you do everything that needs to be done. But then there's also a breaking point. Everybody has a breaking point, and I feel like everybody has a beast mode, and everybody has another side to them, and everybody has different names for it. People give them different names. People give them personalities. People say it's split personalities. It's my alter ego, whatever you want to call it. That is the other side that gets stuff done when you feel like you can't go anymore. So for me, I feel like with symbiotic music, I had to pay homage to the helmet that I wear. Because that is my other side. I just carry it with me because I actually personified my image into being its own character alongside me in everything that I do. So when I say symbiotic music, that simply just means that there's me, and then there's the other part of me that's in it, and that's what I feel like everybody has something like that inside of them too.
Absolutely, I would say so. I think a great example is how, you know, when Beyonce came out with her Sasha Fierce, you know, that was really controversial for a lot of people. But, you know, like you said, if you break it down, like everybody has that different side to themselves. You know, I want to say pop culture for a while was calling it code switching. And then, of course, you know, you had the people who said it as it was a bad thing. But sometimes you can't really be the same way all the time. Sometimes you got to switch it up or adapt to the different environment in order to get the best experience, or extract all what you can out of it. So tell us a little bit about the mask. This is actually beautiful. I remember seeing the first one. Actually, it was the first take that we did. You actually had the helmet on, and then we had to do the second take at the interview, and you didn't have it on, but we had pictures of it, and I should have took pictures of it and put it on there. And I actually do have a picture of it at the end, so everybody will get to see the first version of your helmet. But this is the second version. Yes. Tell us all about it. It's actually really beautiful. I love it.
I appreciate it. So yeah, so as my image started to grow bigger, working with G-Man Management, and working with my label, Symbiotic Music, we just decided to go a whole totally different direction with the helmet. So I actually had this one custom made in Thailand. Okay. And a lot of people can see some of the similar features from the old helmet, but there's also some other similar features from other stuff that people might recognize. But pretty much the story of the helmet is that I wanted people to mainly focus on what the music sounds like. I didn't really care about what I look like. I wanted people to focus on the music. So it doesn't really matter what I look like, as long as you like the music. That's what really matters. And so with the helmet, both versions of the helmet, they really just stand for the same thing, because what's inside is what matters, and inside is the drive that I have. This is just bringing the inside of what I already have inside me out, and when I put it on, it's a whole different ball game. So
gotcha. Okay. Now, in your music career, it's actually budding very quickly, and this you have been telling me for a while that you knew that this was about to happen, and surely enough, you're here. Tell us about your experience and some of the artists that you have worked with and some of the artists that you will be working with in the near future.
Yeah, so I said I was doing music for a while, but I actually ended up getting started with like my first single, and I dropped it in 2018, and that was called The Plug, which is why I wear my plug charm, just to kind of salute to the first track that I made. And what I did was pretty different, went in a different direction, because before I ever released any single, I started to research the music industry first, and I started to try to figure out what the pitfalls were and what kind of check marks I needed to check before I jumped out the porch and started doing this and saying, hey, yeah, I'm gonna start making music and putting my vocals on them. So throughout my career that I've been doing music so far, I have had the chance to collaborate with a lot of artists. I think for the simple fact is that I think I'm just different. I take a different direction. I've had a chance to work with these individuals called the Carter Brothers. They're very big artists, and those were the first people that I actually ended up working with, the very first feature track that I did. I was super excited to work with.
And what are they doing now? What is something that they've put out that we might be familiar with?
I'm not sure if anybody is familiar with their work, but they do have a song out that's pretty popular that is still streaming, is getting a lot of views, called Brown Eyes.
Okay.
So they did do that one. I know Jake and John, they're brothers. Jake is the younger brother, John is the older brother. Actually, the song that we have called On My Mind, me and Jake actually made that beat ourselves. Or me and John actually made the beat ourselves, and it was kind of like my idea behind it. And then the other awesome thing that I do with artists that I collab with is that since I do know how to make animation videos, and I do know how to do all of those things from like the various amounts of work that I did with computers in the past, I turn characters into animations. And so I kind of bring an EDM feel to music on all genres, so it doesn't matter what I drop, we're going to drop some kind of animation for it to kind of just give people a different, I guess, visual to the sound that's there. And some other artists that I've worked with, Ty Dolla $ign.
Yes.
I got track coming out that I'm trying to work in and trying to solidify with Travis Scott. And the next track that I'm working on here is going to be with Kid Kern. He's from California. California is actually where I'm from, and California's been showing me a lot of love. So I actually am excited about this EDM track that's dropping with Kid Kern out in California. And then after that, we're working on a real sexy track for the R&B lovers, and it's got Timothy Bloom, Kira B on it. Timothy Bloom is a 2-time Grammy-winning artist, and he lives out in California too. I'll actually meet him when I fly out to California next week.
Nice.
And we're gonna start solidifying with my management and his management, and just talk over the details and how we're gonna make this song really big. And I'm pretty sure people are familiar with Timothy Bloom because, I mean, he won 2 Grammys, so I mean, of course, people have to know who he is. So I'm not even gonna speak on his name because his accolades speak for himself, and he's a very humble guy.
Awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
So, and then you had 2 video shoots, or you had the one that you just did in April, and then you have this one coming up.
Right. Yeah. So I got the video shoot for my single called "Take Me Away" is coming up. The one that I just did in California was with an artist named Ecorda Wolf, and that song was called "Enough." What actually happened was, while I was out there networking in California, I ended up performing at a show just off the whim. They called me to come out and said, hey, I'll come out. I ended up performing a single called "Undefeated," and then they wanted to do the video for that one. They were so impressed with the song that they wanted to do the video. They said, hey, we'll pay for your flight, we'll pay for your room. Wow. We'll get you out there. We just want to shoot your video. Talked to my management, and they was like, no, let's wait on "Undefeated. Let's do another track. We got something special for "Undefeated." So I was like, okay, well, they can pick another track. And so that's kind of like how that shoot came. It was totally unexpected. I wasn't expecting that, but I think as I move forward in music, I'm probably going to get more of that. I hope I get more of that often from people who want to network and collab with me and willing to get me out there in order to work with me.
Absolutely. That's amazing. Okay. So you have a video out now. Actually the one that we're going to be showing tonight, Extra Up, it's not a new video. It's actually been out for quite some time.
All right. Yeah. Extra Up has been out for a while. It was my third video that I dropped. And that video actually gained the attention of Vivo. And Vivo had added me to their playlist of Discover Emerging Artists of 2021 of artists to look out for.
Okay.
Came way out of left field. Me and management, we weren't even expecting that, but when I saw that, I kind of got that. I was like, wow, okay. Well, if they're gonna give me that chance, then I'm gonna go ahead and push this. So that's kind of like what happened with that, and then it just started to just kind of take off. The track just started to kind of take off, and it's not even part of the album that's out right now.
Wow. So what are you actually going to do with that? Are you going to push it out as a single, or are you just going to leave it as kind of like promo since it's still kind of like gaining its own traction right now?
Yeah, so I decided that I was going to leave it off of the album and just let it do its own thing. What ended up happening with Extra Up was there was another management company that I was involved with that liked the track, and that's the reason why they wanted to put me on their music group, their label with it. Relations got sour. I didn't like where the direction was going with the company, so I got out, took my single back from them, and then I just decided since that one was going to be the one that I didn't put on the album because I was going to let that management label and company push it, it didn't make the cut for the album. And it was a good thing that it didn't because that album, that video had not hit Vivo. When I gave it to the company that I was working with, they sat on it for a long time, and I kept, asking them, hey, are we going to push this video? Are we going to push this video? All my other videos are out. I'm trying to get this one out. And they would never do it. So it didn't make the album because I didn't want it to be conflicting with their thing. My album, music is part of Symbiotic Music. So I was like, okay, after I got it back, we dropped it with management through another distribution company, and then it started to gain traction on its own. So I'm just gonna leave it alone.
Okay, so basically, what you're telling me, what I'm hearing is, if you would have allowed them to drop it, and then you would have dropped yours on the other one, it kind of would have been competing. You would have been kind of competing with yourself on two different platforms, and that's Is that considered a conflict of interest?
Yeah, it would have been a pretty bad situation. So with them, because they actually had it on their YouTube channel, and they had it on their page, and they were promoting it. So I just told them, just scratch it all. We got it. I can do it myself. So, and then the new management company that I'm with now, they didn't want to touch any of my music videos that I did previously because it would have been a conflict of interest for them. So the very first one that I'm shooting under G-Man Entertainment is actually going to be the first one that is a Sony distributed video, and actually the first single that's coming out on the 11th is the first single that I have that Sony has given me the green light, have blessed off on me to be able to distribute my music. So I'm super excited about that single and the new video that I shot in California in April. That both going to be backed by Sony. So I'm
Congratulations.
Thank you. Definitely happy about that.
Yes, that's very good news. So before we cut to the next break, I want to talk about the Extra video. Like, what kind of energy did you intend for that video? I understand what happened with all the background, but what was the inspiration for that? Because I know you kind of talk a little bit about, your symbolism and your meaning in there. So just give me a brief synopsis of that video, because we're actually going to premiere that. We're actually going to show that in just a few minutes.
Oh yeah, so Extra, so like I said, it's funny because like when I'm making songs and stuff, most of these tracks that I be thinking about, they actually come to me while I'm asleep.
Oh wow.
And I'm laying down in bed where I can't sleep, because when a beat or something comes up to me, I have to get up. And I have to either record. I used to write, but now I have to record, do a rough record in my head. So when I started to make that one, I remember a lot of people always telling me I'm so extra. They say, you're so extra, you do so much extra stuff. Like everything you do is just never normal. If you're gonna do something, it's gonna be big all the time. And I don't think it's that I'm materialistic. I just think that if you're gonna get something, you might as well get the best of what you're trying to get, because you'll love it. It's like somebody
it'll last longer.
Right. It's like somebody when you go to a dealership, right, and you're looking at a new vehicle, and there's different versions. You are already taking a loan to get the vehicle.
Right.
Why would you get the one
Base model.
Yeah, why would you
With
get
no
that
perks,
one?
yeah.
When you still got to pay the money back, you might as well spend a couple of $1,000 more or $100 more and just get you the upgraded one.
Might
just
as
be
well.
extra. So when I made the song Extra Up, I was like, just don't be plain. Just be extra. I mean, if people gonna say you extra, they gonna say it anyway. So you might as well just be all in their face with it. So that's what I did with it.
I love it. And also, when we come back from the break, we're going to kind of divert into a more serious subject matter, because in my eyes, I look at you as a hero. A lot of people don't know what you have gone through as far as your experience, but you have experienced some discrimination in the military as far as you being an artist, and more namely a rapper, a hip-hop artist. So just quickly, with that discrimination, did you see a difference between the discrimination that you experienced with people who delved into other different genres? Do you feel like it was specific to being a rapper and a hip-hop artist, even though you have a wide variety of music?
Oh, it was absolutely 100% because it was hip-hop music and rap music. And I have individuals who I served with and individuals who are my friends who are Caucasians and who are other races and who are performers, and they do different types of music that they like. And none of them, from my knowledge, from what they told me, have faced any of the issues that I'm going through currently.
So we're definitely going to delve into that when we come back. But as we cut to our break, you're going to get to see Extra Up, one of my favorite videos. So make sure y'all tune in and hang with us. And we have more to come. Thank y'all for joining us here. LaShon Smith, Von T on CEP TV, Late Night Hype.
Vaughn, Kovu 127. Vaughn T. Send me out of music. Extra. I just upgraded from a regular. I don't longer play with the spatula. Hit up the plug, he a Chinaman. He ramp up the packs and he fly me in. DHL became a new best friend. If the order wrong, tell try again. Extra, yeah. Extra, hey, yeah. I just upgraded from a regular. I don't longer play with a spatula. Hit up the plug, he a Chinaman. He ramp up the packs and he fly me in. DHL became a new best friend. If the order wrong, tell try again. Hey, boy Joe used to be so old. Now I run around in designer clothes. First chain was all white gold. Threw the plug on with the extra dough. I don't fuck with that hoe no more. Straight up Jomo on that hoe. New bitch, she so extra, yo. Fuck it, I'm better off being alone. Looking at the diamonds on my wrist. Swear to God, a nigga got him pissed. I'm just talking shit, but this shit be hard to admit. Game lock, make a nigga quit. About to have a fit. Now that the video wanna spit. she said that's it. Nobody wanna hold the door, don't wanna lend a hand dance, so I had to kick in the bitch. Don't give a fuck about the fake shit. It wasn't fake cash for it, that's real shit. And I started on my own. Only nigga make a move. No deal, no sponsor shit. Symbiotic music, be my shit. Ride around the town on the Eagle trip. Riding in the car with the extra clip. Whipping up, whipping up, whipping up, strip. Extra, extra, extra. I just upgraded from a regular. I don't like to play with a spatula. Hit up the plug, he a Chinaman. He wrap up the packs and he fly in. DHL became a new best friend. If the order wrong, tell try again. Extra, extra, yeah. Extra, 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 hey, yeah. I just upgraded from a regular. I don't like to play with a spatula. Hit up the plug, he a Chinaman. He wrap up the packs and he fly in. DHL became a new best friend. If the order wrong, tell try again. Making $300 deals on the phone like I just bought a new car. People say that I got new money. Fucking other shit like a porn star. I talked to a bitch, she got a great shape. She do anything except for the gram. Found another bitch, got a sex tape. On top of that, them then got a whole man. I'm beating up the shit like a great ape. I'm beating up the shit like a great ape. I want all the smoke. Fuck it, it's gonna be extra. Me, there gonna be some give and take. Guarantee if I take a loss, save a little extra just for the call. Got some shit on my head, let it rip, then the bitch come out. Say the van draw. Extra, 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 extra. I just upgraded from a regular. I don't like to play with a spatula. Hit up the plug, he a Chinaman. He wrap up the packs and he fly in. DHL became a new best friend. If the order wrong, tell try again. Extra, extra, yeah. Extra, 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 hey, yeah. I just upgraded from a regular. I don't like to play with a spatula. Hit up the plug, he a Chinaman. He wrap up the packs and he fly in. DHL became a new best friend. If the order wrong, tell try again. I don't fuck with nothing on the regular. Hit him on the cellular, he beat out the competitor. I'm just a wrestler. Settled in the temperature to try to man the plug, he embezzler. After with a sweater, want a new chain. But the bill, they be fucking with a nigga chain. But I won't meet up with the man, kiss his ass in the red. Hit him, come and sell Kanye. So right now, yeah, nigga got bill. So right now, yeah, nigga gon' chill. But when I meet up from the plug, I get to the mentally ill like it's Advil. Talking that extra stuff. Stacking up, stacking more. Got a little money, upgraded my luck. Now it's about time to go extra up. Extra, 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 extra. I just upgraded from a regular. I don't like to play with a spatula. Hit up the plug, he a Chinaman. He wrap up the packs and he fly in. DHL became a new best friend. If the order wrong, tell try again. Extra, extra, yeah. Extra, 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 hey, yeah. I just upgraded from a regular. I don't like to play with a spatula. Hit up the plug, he a Chinaman. He wrap up the packs and he fly in. DHL became a new best friend. If the order wrong, tell try again.
the beast, talking all that shit.
Hey there, my name is LaShon Smith, and I want to introduce you to CEP TV, which stands for Creatives, Entrepreneurs, and Entertainers at Play TV. It's an online streaming video network. I'll be interviewing the best and brightest African-American leaders in business, culture, and entertainment. We will explore their ideas, visions, and goals for the future. CEP TV will also produce and showcase original African American films, radio, podcasts, and streaming video shows while we feature their creators. We will tell their stories from their perspectives. Do you want to tell your story on CEP TV? Contact us today at www.mycep.tv. And we are back. Thank you all so much for joining us on this Late Night Hype, CEP TV's Late Night Hype. And we are joined by our fantastic guest, Von T. And he is going to be telling us about the craziness that he's had to deal with in the military as he's been pursuing his goals and dreams of becoming an R&B hip-hop artist, or I'm just going to say a symbiotic artist because there's so much intertwined with what he's trying to do, but there's also the stamp of hip hop and R&B, which has seemingly made it very difficult as a soldier in the military. So, you know, tell us a little bit more about that. We talked a little bit about it before the break. You feel like it was emphatically and without a doubt that it was definitely, you are definitely being targeted. You were definitely being targeted because of the genre of music that you were involved in.
Right. So I think I first want to start by, shout out to all the veterans. Memorial Day is coming up.
Yes,
so,
absolutely.
Shout out to the veterans and everybody who served. Okay. So, and I also want to put this out there because I want everybody to know, yes, I do have braids in my hair, and yes, I am still an active duty soldier right now. So I'm still serving. Here's the thing. So when I started to drop my music, I never had an issue with anything. And in 2018, dropped the plug. Military individuals who were stationed at Fort Gordon in Augusta, Georgia, where I'm at, know about my music. They knew I was pursuing music. I was doing it on my off time. Didn't bother anybody. Never even talked about military. Never said anything derogatory about the military. Never was in uniform. Never talked anything bad about any leadership. Matter of fact, I wanted my music to stand for itself, so I specifically left the military out of it, not because I was doing anything wrong, just because if I blew up as an artist, I didn't want it to be because people said, okay, well, he was a military soldier. That's the reason why his music is blowing up big, or whatever the case may be. I just wanted my music to be separate from its own. And so when I was dropping singles, everything was well. Everything was going really good. And I was still able to go to work, and no one was the wiser. Everything was straight. When I made my video to Turn Off the Lights, I made it in a club scene, and it was a party club scene. All these people who were part of this video were all paid actors and actresses. Everybody there was professionals, except they were in raunchy clothing, dancing around. It's a club scene, you party, there's money being thrown.
Okay.
It's a hip-hop video.
Of course.
It's music. Video was out for a whole year, and say this video had been out and wasn't really moving nothing. Then when the video hit World Star, and it got over 1 million views, in my mind, I said, okay, this is good. I like this. Then I started to get messages on Facebook from individuals who were stationed with me, and they were like, "Oh man, your video is dope. I like your video. It's pretty hot." And these aren't like privates and sergeants. These were majors, and these were lieutenant colonels and people who I work with every day. So in my mind, I said, if they saw it, I know the boss seen it.
Right.
So I was like, okay, well, we gonna see where this is gonna go. And sure enough, you know, within a week, I was in his office, you know, getting counseled about my music video. And here's what it said, right? It said, okay, it's clear that you have talent. Just use your skills appropriately. Well, what's appropriately? What are you really saying?
Yeah.
It's appropriate.
Yeah.
So, you know, there was never any direct order to try to order me to take my music video down. So I left it up.
Right.
No big deal. A whole year goes by where the video was still up, nothing's going on. Then I get called into an office again. This time I'm getting what is called an Article 15 for this. And
wow.
The Article 15, for people who aren't in the military, if they're not familiar with what an Article 15 is, an Article 15 is a lesser version of when you get charges in the civilian world. So when you get charged with an actual crime in the civilian world, you go to court. When you get charged in the military and you opt out of a court martial, which is the equivalent of a civilian going to the court when you get charges, you opt into what's called an Article 15. And you, when you get the Article 15, it's up to your leadership to, I guess, judge, maybe the jury and the judge on your situation. So I got me a lawyer, and we went to fight it, and we showed that everything that they were saying about the video stood on no legal grounds. It was all moral, all their own personal beliefs about the video. Nonetheless, you know, they still said, nope, your lawyer's trash. And it was a military appointed lawyer, of course. So kicked the case out the door, slapped me with, the charges that they found me against, 3 charges. First charge was making money without proper approval, which I wasn't making any money from my music video. I was doing it because I like doing music. Mm-hmm. If I was making money, I wouldn't be in the military.
Right, because you can only cap out at a certain, like you can only make so much while you're in the military, mm-hmm. Correct? Okay.
The other charge was publicly appearing in a music video that brings discredit upon yourself in the United States Army. Still don't understand what you really mean by that, because what it sounds like you're saying is that you just have an issue with the fact that it was rap music. It's not saying anything. And then the third charge was disobeying a direct order to remove my music video off of the internet, which it was not. When I got called into the office and talked to the boss about it, he tried to get into this tit for tat with me about how I felt about the video, and he tried to get me to say something that he could probably use against me. My only response to him was the entire time, I have nothing to say at this time. And I kept saying that, it infuriated him. After I left, that's when he said, okay, well, we're going to give him Article 15 for it, and we're going to charge him with this because I don't like his video and I don't like rap music, pretty much. That's pretty much what that means.
Absolutely.
Throughout all of that mess and all that chaos that was going on, keep in mind, they took me out of my job. Didn't have a job for the military, except for being at the house. And I guess what they thought that I was going to break down when that happened. Thank God for my other side. Like I said before, the drive that's in me, I didn't let that happen. So when they left me alone, I think what they thought was that if they leave me alone long enough, like most African Americans and minorities do in situations when you leave them alone and they're doing something they ain't supposed to be doing, they end up getting caught. What happened with me, I wasn't doing anything that I wasn't supposed to be doing anyway, so I didn't get in trouble for anything. Right. So once they found out that wasn't going to work, he ain't getting no DUIs, there's no drugs, he's not sleeping with underage soldiers or somebody's wife, or we can't get anything on him. And trust me, I know these things because they dug into my background and asked everybody who I'm associated with questions about me. They tried to bully the YouTube promoters to taking my stuff down. They said no. They said, pretty much go fuck yourself, more or less. They're not in the military. And everybody that's in my circle was solid anyway. So everybody who I work with, they're with me. So they couldn't do anything with it. So what they started to do was they started to come after me as far as my medical benefits. They tried to get me out of the military and tried to deny me medical coverage over and over again to try to stop me from being able to be seen by doctors. So it went through a whole process of me having to get Congress involved. I had to get all of the military systems. I used every single appellant system that the Army had to try to fight this case. It went to them. They turned it down over and over again. It got to the point where the mayor of Grovetown, mayor of Augusta found out about it. News crews, Fox 54 News, Augusta Chronicle, all of these people took the story. They questioned the Post. It was a big deal. Went up to the Department of the Army. And currently, you know, it's still an issue. It's still going on. The fight is not over. The fight is just going to take place when I'm a veteran, because I feel like if this situation happened to me, then it can happen to anybody.
Absolutely.
And if we are not allowed to express ourselves and be able to champion our culture and where we come from, then that's an issue that I think needs to be raised to the highest platform in this country.
Absolutely.
Because what you were saying is that we are able to serve in the military and die for this country, but there's no way that I'm going to be able to make music and express myself without...
And keep myself sane.
Right.
Like, yeah.
And without doing anything, and doing it so in a manner that doesn't hurt or harm anybody or affect my job. So if that's an issue, I think that needs to be raised to the highest standards of what we have for individuals way above my pay grade can look into it. Because I have a Facebook group started about discrimination in hip hop. It's got, right now it's growing. It's like at 5,000 followers right now about it. But like I tell people when I invite them to the group, when you join the group, you're not joining it for me, because I'm getting out of the military. My career is done. I'm going to be medically retired, and I'm going to continue on my music career. It's budding. I'm moving forward. I still move forward even when I was going through this. I never slowed down, not a step. I kept going. But what it's going to affect is your nieces, your nephews,
Right.
your brother, your younger brother, the people who's about to graduate, who's trying to get out there and just trying to better their life by serving in the military, but also still have dreams and passions to either want to be a singer or a rapper or whatever they want to be. And then I say this to also say that there are cases where individuals are in the military and they have hobbies or second jobs, and nothing happens to them. It just depends on your leader. Right. And this particular situation was extremely racist, and it was wrong, and Absolutely. It should have never happened.
If anybody knows anything about the military, they have a program or a section called the MWR, Morale, Welfare, and Recreation, right? They have bands, they, play games, softball games, and all kinds of other things. So why is there not any room for our type of music? You said earlier that, other people who are involved in other types of music have never come across the discrimination that you have. So how are these people involved in your fight? Are they helping? Are they advocating for you? Like, how can we join in this as outsiders, even as non-military or people who are still in the military? How can we help?
The biggest thing that people can do is to spread awareness is a big tool. And we live in a social media world where everything is accessible, and the more people who share it, the more people who comment, the more people who expose it, the harder that it is for an organization as big as the Army to shut you down. And I know this for sure because there's the situations that happened at Fort Hood with the female who was killed.
Yes.
And then there's all other things that happen that catch wind throughout the civilian channels and get exposed. But it takes the media to do that. It takes social media to do that. And so if people hear the story, that's all I'm asking. And what I'm asking for has nothing to do with any cash value. You don't even have to like my music. They don't even have to, purchase my album or anything like that, or look out for anything. But the fact of the matter is that what happened is wrong. And if you want people to continue to express themselves and still serve in the military, this is the next step that we need to do. In addition to, you know, the Black Lives Matter movement and police reform, this is part of that reform. This is still part of the same chapter, or same story, just different chapter.
And absolutely even more so because the military kind of plays by their own rules. Like you said, you had to get a military appointed lawyer. They have their own separation of everything. So it's not going to be the same playing field as just taking, you know, a company or something to court. It's like, it's going to be very different. So tapping into that civilian, like you said, civilian channels is going to be very important. So for those of you who are listening, please join the group. And what we'll do after post-production, we'll make sure we get those links and everything together so that you can see what it's all about. Now, do we have any other people in the group who have testimonies about their personal experiences?
It's definitely open for it. Like I said, the group is labeled, you know, the discrimination that I'm facing within the military, but the group is open for people to share their stories. The group is open for, if you are facing similar discrimination issues, share that story and let other people hear about it. There are some posts that are on there, stories that I've done, other interviews that I've done are on there, but the page is still open for most people right now. It's just got a lot of followers. A lot of people are viewing the post, but if you got a story or a situation that is similar or alike in the same manner, definitely in the military, that's what that page is for. That's where it's going to start at, is that Facebook page and sharing your story and getting your voice heard.
And give us the name of that page again, just for those who may be wanting to go look now.
It's called Von T Faces Discrimination in the Military for Pursuing a Hip Hop Career.
So guys, please check that out. And, you know, I love the fact that you are so versatile, because it's kind of funny to me that maybe if you would have dropped Skeletons first, because it's such a different, you know, variety of music, maybe they would have left you alone. Or, you know, if it would have been strictly this type of music, there might not have been an issue at all.
Right. And while I was going through this, in the midst of going through this, that's why I had enough when what happened with the whole George Floyd incident and when the movement got started, and I made the single called Undefeated, pretty much to point the finger at the U.S. Army. Like, I gave you guys, you know, a lot of years of service of my time, and I dropped that track Undefeated to show them that it doesn't matter what you do. I'm not going to be defeated. I'm not going to be quiet. I'm not going to back down. We're not going to stop until there's change. And if I have to be the one that has to spearhead this movement to get it started, then so be it. And I'm with it.
Well, we are definitely down with you here at CEP TV. So whatever we can do, we are definitely, you know, whatever we can do to help with this fight, we are all for it. Coming up, is there anything else you wanted to say in closing about this particular topic, or, you know, anything before we introduce our live performance?
The only thing I would say is that, so I did drop my first album. You know, it is called Music Is. You can kind of see what it says. Music Is. It's out. It's out everywhere. It's my very first album. A lot of those tracks that I'm talking about, outside of Skeletons and Extra Up and a couple of other singles and features that I'm working on and did, are on the album. If you do enjoy any of my music, like there's some bonus tracks and some updated versions on the album, and it's totally awesome, and it's been doing great. It's been getting a lot of streams and plays. But if you do want to support the album and you want to support the music, Music Is out, because music is what you make it.
Yes. And did you want, like, you did the video, are you able to say, like, some of the people who guest appeared on that first video that you did in April?
Yeah, so the video is actually a video with me, and it's got an artist. His name's Ecor the Wolf. And when the video actually drops, there was so many people that showed up to this video shoot.
Really?
It was hard for me to keep track of them. But long story short, there were stunt people there. There were individuals who play in General Hospital that were in my music video. Comedians were in my music video. I don't even know all of their names off the top of my head, but when the credits roll, I made sure that I got all of their names. So when the video does drop, show those people some love, because they're out there working too, and a lot of them were a lot bigger than me. So and I was shocked that they all showed up to little old me's video shoot, but I was there and they were there and it was awesome. So
the support is real and we absolutely love it. So go ahead and set us up for this performance that you're going to be doing for us, Skeletons.
Yeah, so Skeletons is, as you see, I got my my new retro wave shirt on. I'm definitely into all different types of genres of music. I have a goal. My goal is to break those barriers and tie music together. And for Skeletons specifically, this track was pretty much something that came to my head when you're in a relationship and somebody's always asking you questions, or even if they're not in a relationship with you and y'all are just talking, what we call talking, and they're constantly asking you questions, but in the back of your head that they have a whole bunch of stuff going on in their life. And that's what Skeletons kind of reminded me of. There's so many times that I've been in a situation like that where somebody that I'm not dating is asking me questions as if we're dating, but I tell them, don't worry about me when you have your own skeletons in your closet. So, handle your business first, and then once you get your stuff cleared, then come holler at me. But until then, don't worry about my casket.
Go.
So.
In a nutshell. All right, so we're going to take a quick break and come back, and you're going to see our first live performance here on CEP TV Late Night Hype. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us tonight.
Born unable to crawl, taking my first step. Born unable to pull myself up, achieving my first dream. Born unable to make the sound of a voice, speaking my
so many special
word.
Kids across the world can't say you're hurting me. Can't you see it in my face? Don't pick me up to throw me down. I wanna talk, but there's no sound. When you hear me cry, don't shut me out. That's my way of saying you're hurting me.
Wanna lock us up frequently. Police brutality, abusing when using their authority. Amongst a majority of us minority must make opportunity to survive financially in this land they call free.
We can talk, but we can't talk. We've got to fight and stand up for the right.
The prodigal son, Tommy Gibbs, was not your average kid growing up on the south side of DC. Gibbs was introduced to a life of crime at an early age. His father, whom he idolized, was a well-known drug lord, and as time goes on, Gibbs yearns more and more to be just like his father. And then his world is turned upside down after his father's death. In his quest towards the American dream, fast women, fast cars, and fast money, Gibbs understands what kind of man he has become and what his fate will be if he doesn't soon change. Available now on Amazon.
guys are watching on social media, we need you to do us a favor and please share the live. CEP TV is changing and rearranging and all that great stuff. So just go to mycep.tv. And of course, you can still see a lot of the content on Roku. But of course, go to YouTube. You can see our archives of the events and things that we've been to and just making waves in the CEP TV mantra.
I'm LaShon Smith, and this right here is Anthem. Big Kurt right here, the beautiful Money. Bruno 2 times. I am that boy. CCB family. Sway baby with me. I got Aunt Jones here. I got Georgia boy here. Knuckle Nate here with me. Hollywood 40 up in the building.
You have to be like a beast. You have to be a beast. That's the only way they respect you.
Met her in the hotel lobby, so how she ended up in my bed. Fast forward the story about 3 or 4 months and I think we got too far ahead. I think the situation's misleading, or is it that I could have misled? Somehow the lines of our love got lost when I started asking questions. I said, don't worry, I can handle my casket.
Believe me, I heard all the gossip.
Look in the mirror with the questions you're asking.
Come on, here's the time to be on it.
Don't worry, I can handle my casket.
I've been dead, but I ain't being modest.
Look in the mirror, I swear, I promise. Don't bury me and leave the skeletons. I feel like a walking zombie. Emotions that I just can't shed. You want me to open, I don't know how, and the topic is something I dread. I think your deception deceives me, or is it that you could have misled? Some of the choices in life are not easy. I think some things are better unsaid.
Don't worry, I can handle my casket.
Believe me, I heard all the gossip.
Look in the mirror with the questions you're asking.
Come on, here's the time to be on it.
Don't worry, I can handle my casket.
I've been dead, but I ain't being modest.
Look in the mirror,
I swear, I promise. Don't bury me and leave the skeletons in the closet. Don't you worry about my casket. I heard all the gossip. Look in the mirror with the questions. Come on, be honest. I can't handle my casket. I ain't being modest. Look in the mirror, I promise. You got skeletons hiding in the closet. Don't you worry about my casket. Believe me, I heard all the gossip. Look in the mirror with the questions you're asking. Come on, be honest.
Don't worry, I can handle my casket. I've been dead, but I ain't here hardest.
Don't worry about my casket. You got skeletons in the closet. Yo. Yeah, he said don't step. Cool.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. That was a great performance. I'm glad you all have gotten to see what a variety of diverse music that Von T actually has. And this was our first live performance, so thank you all once again for joining. Thank you for coming all the way from Greenville, Georgia to be with us tonight. So again, if you all are interested in booking with us here on CEP TV, you know how to get in touch with us, ceptv2019@gmail.com. We are definitely lining up shows for the summer all the way into the fall, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Next month, at the end of the month, we do one show a month as of right now. CEP TV, and check us out. Make sure you get with us, and again, thank you so much, and y'all have a great night.
You love it how I touch you, boy. You love it how I put my hands all over your body. You love it when I say your name. So come here and let's fly away. It's crazy, first we fucking, now we love making. We out in public, kissing, touching, man, it sucks waiting. I'm ready to lay it down, show you how I come on top. After I climax, keep going, it ain't no need to stop. I'm on your name like I'm begging for your attention. That thug shit you do is cool, I'm just letting you know I'm with it. Your ride or die like I'm Bonnie, my Clyde. Don't you forget it, my flight take off at 2, baby, sorry I didn't mention I'm gone. Let's take it slow, baby. You know you love the way I ride. You know, baby, I love when you are all inside of me.
I love the way that you touch me, yeah. You love the way that I fuck you. Let's fly away, let's take off in the shadow. Skydiving, now I'm buckled, we be cutting up. She leaking, dripping puddles. Look me in the eyes when I fuck you. Can I trust you? I just hope that you ain't bluffing. You ain't never know it, even if I loved you. You ain't gotta tell me nothing. I don't even care if y'all just slutty. Yeah, I won't put nobody above you. I just wanna know that you ain't out here ducking.
Pick up every call, so when I call you, just pick up. Let's not make this shit complicated. I know your daddy don't like me, I know your mama hate it. I know it's time that we wasted, but ain't no time for wasting. You know I had you back then, and ain't no time for patience. We pull up diamonds dancing, man, they hate to see it shine. They was hating way back then, but now I see it in their eyes. We fucking on the balcony, so TMZ won't be surprised. I'm soaking up the bed, push back my legs, your head between my thighs. Baby,